For Gemini, you seem to have been coming through quite a lot. Seems to be a frequency that requires a lot of focus. Perhaps it's due to this moon in Gemini that we've had. Gemini, I feel a resigning voice breath. I feel like breathing out. If I look at you into your energy. Welcome to the Arcana Veil. What messages can we have for Gemini? We have revenge. Revenge. We have intuition. One more. And we have criticism. Let's look and see what the messages holds for Gemini. Straight off the bat, one very, very disarming 10 of Swords that comes out flying. So the Ace of Swords, no wonder you're tired. You've had to deal with a lot. We have the Five of Swords. And we have Justice. We have the Moon. Definitely comes through here very strongly. The size of the cards are quite big. Alright, Gemini. There seems to be a little bit of a conflict that you've had to resolve over a period of a few weeks from what I can see here. You've actually had to go through a lot of mental gymnastics, which seems to be very much related to what is your nature. There's nothing difficult for Gemini to do, especially when you've had to move through a lot of energy that has been sort of feeling like it's being directed at you. There's been a lot of sort of associations or misjudgments in terms of perhaps towards you or about you, or maybe you've had some misjudgments towards others. But I do see that you've definitely been in a position of having to put a lot of effort into place to clear up a lot of conflicts. Five of Swords here within the heart of the nature. Your heart is filled with certain ideas and things that you wish to bring across for it to be understood. I'd say you make me feel as if you felt misunderstood in some way, shape or form. This is not for all Geminis. This is a collective reading for Geminis. So please keep that in mind and just take what resonates. If you're a cross watcher, the same thing applies. There's justice here on this end of the reading, which suggests that whatever you've done, what you had to put in place, you've won the fight. You've won it fair and square. Perhaps it wasn't a very fair fight to begin with, but justice is on your side and actually bringing in things that will resolve for you through this period of the moon. Yes, the moon does represent things that are hidden, and when it comes up, it's normally something that makes you feel like you question your own authenticity. I know that Geminis do feel that, air signs mostly, that you are struggling through the moon, through the lunar periods when they do come up. However, what I'm picking up here strongly is for someone specific that you have had to deal with a lot of interactions that have been making you feel like you had to justify your course of actions. You've had to fight and prove your worth to those that have been challenging you. You could be in a position of I almost said rulership. You could be in a position of management or in a leader position, or that you are very good at what you do, which makes you automatically a person of knowledge, of wisdom, of leadership here. And you definitely have been working with the intuition within your higher self to take you through this path. This is why you are here, because at the time when you had wondered what was going on, here is the answer for your calling. There seems to be a lot of criticism aimed at what you're saying, what you speak, and how you present yourself to others. This is just, generally speaking, if you look at it, it's quite frivolous, because the flowers are sort of like in the basket here, when it's actually just a bit of I would say what I'm getting is cherry picking, perhaps, and this is perhaps what makes you feel like you're a little bit judged here by certain people that you didn't expect. I'm also seeing that these are people that you were supposed to trust. There's some of you who've got some siblings that are coming up as well. If not siblings, then really close friends or family or work associates here. This feels very much work focused. So it definitely does bring across that whatever you had to do to make the point across had taken a lot out of you, and so you're actually quite tired at this point in time. Let's have a look and see what the shadows show us. All energy requires light and dark. In order for us to see the light, we must know what the dark is, and for us to understand what the dark is, we must know that there is light as well, and therefore it is not duality but wholeness that we are exploring into. We are seeing the Ace of Pentacles underneath the Ten of Swords here. The shadow showing that you've definitely had it all along in the bag. It does tell me that whatever you've had in mind had always been part of your passage in your life path. I'll put it like this so that you can see. Yeah. Okay. Within the nature of the higher self, there's only one Ace of Pentacles here, even though you felt like completely as if you had to resign from certain matters. But remember, the Ten of Swords, swords in itself is your archetype, is your power. And using the swords in your way is to be able to dig deeper into finding that one Ace of Pentacles that is still within your nature, that you still find the goodness even though you had to use a lot of energy to excavate what it was that you had to present to those that are around you. So in other words, I'm seeing that you're definitely working very hard to set things in place here, even if it takes a long time. I can pick up that you're a bit bored with it as well. You lose interest when things go a little too much of the same. That's normal. We see the Ace of Swords for Gemini. We have the High Priestess under the Ace of Swords. So definitely it is very strongly supported under the Intuition card here, and that you are using your gifts to be able to apply things from a higher perspective. So definitely you've had to work a lot to unearth that High Priestess power in your nature to be able to give the guidance. And if it wasn't for you tapping into your intuition, you probably wouldn't have been able to handle the situation as easily as you did. I feel like this is something that has passed, that you've just gone through. So it's not something to look into as ahead, but of what you had to come through. You wanted to know what happened. Here's what it looks like. Can we see here the shadow of the Five of Swords? We have Temperance in the center point here of the heart, supporting the fact that you hold the position in place. Here's some very, very strong stoicism taking place here. I can see that you're definitely holding the path in the right way so far. Can we see on the Justice here? I almost heard Injustice. Here's Ten of Swords here. So we're looking at the wound that has taken over almost all. There is a frequency that aligns with this. So you're looking at a triangulation of your energy that you've had to experience over a big part of your life. So definitely, I would say for some of you, 25 years is what I hear that you've had to deal with, putting the information down, putting things in place. You may have had a family that have not been in support so much of what it was that you had to do. You felt alone. Ace of Swords here, very much needing to set things in place. You were definitely championing a lot of things coming at you, but look at what is in the shadow here. If you're looking at these cards as principally in the shadow, it means that even so you are much deeper than you are in appearance to be. And so even using that which is in the above as above, so below, is because of what is below, that you can apply that which is above, you know, the mental state in which you are finding yourself in this way. Why did it take so long for this to span over such a big chunk of your life path? And basically we can see that there's definitely been some, let's find out why precisely did it happen. There's the world. Definitely explaining that it's something that's come from perhaps a past life, that you've just literally trickled it into this present life. This is very specific for a specific group of you in the Gemini. This could be for wherever Gemini is placed in your house, of course. We're looking at the King of Wands here. Very much you have been in control of the information of your own pathway. Out of the fire comes the air. As the sword rises over it, perhaps it feels like you are in a revenge space. Perhaps you were. Perhaps that is why you were meeting certain things, pushbacks into your life as challenges. Because I can see definitely this is definitely for you with a bit of the fire element around your energy field. And within that, we can see that you've definitely had that work for you for some time. Your tenacity and creativity, King of Wands here, definitely leading the pathway through, especially when it's anchored into the High Priestess. So you have the rod of fire or sword of fire that is going through, very much like a rocket, I could say. You see here on the heart of the nature here, why is there always a strife there? And we're seeing the Two of Wands here. Again, this explains setting things in place, always having it met with absolute ridiculous resistance, which is quite wild if I look at it. Some of you have really had to work super hard. Sheesh. Let's see the Justice here. And the King of Swords. Eight of Wands. Very strong here as well. Again, bringing in a lot of fire here over the air. And that which is in the center point that brings you through, or that leads into the center point is what I'm trying to say. So you have the underworld in which your power comes from, and you have the upper world in which you use your power, and then you have the middle world or the middle earth in where you find yourself the most at peace or at the most default space. And you literally have had to burn a lot of bridges also to go through what you've had to endure. You've brought a lot of things across. I keep thinking you're someone who shares a lot of information or who expands a lot on your own abilities in work. You have a very specific or precise way of teaching people certain things in your environment. Perhaps you're a teacher or an educator or someone who's in that nature of that space. You could also be in politics, so this also comes through. And let's see on the last card here, we have the Three of Swords over the Moon, suggesting that you've had to deal with a lot of betrayal, which seems to have been because of the criticism that you've endured. So I'm not saying that you're a victim, but you've definitely had to go through a lot of things with a lot of people that have been very much against whatever you've done. in the past, and also it seems to have bled through from your past life. So you didn't take any time. You just came straight back in to continue the work. This definitely is very much related to the efforts that you've put in place in order to sustain this pathway through. I'm picking up that there's some of you that have had some excuse me, engagements with or interactions with certain people that have been your peers, that they have been focused on your way of, or your ability to see through a plan. I'm also picking up that there's been some subterfuge if you are in the political arena, very much so, that have been trying to sabotage things that you've been putting in place as well. I'm very much seeing the political element here as well. If you're not in the political element, you are definitely in a position or space where you've had to work very hard for this energy right now. What is the final outcome? Where are you situated right now? 2 came out. I will take them both. Knight of Cups, first water that I see, and the Page of Swords, which is right next to the Knight of Cups. So slow focus on needing to replenish that soul energy, which is the water element within the nature of your consciousness, so that you are able to carry on applying the same information, but in a much more sort of simpler method, which does do the same thing. From what I can see, it's almost as if you've got now the knack of knowing how to do this now. With a little bit more water over the fire, you will have had the right temperature that will operate in the right way for you. You will go far. If you have just started out with your endeavors in your journey, you will go far if you maintain the focus on the High Priestess within you. It is a sacred position to have at all times. Temper that fire and hold it calm with the water of your soul. I will leave this with you. I hope this has given you some inspiration and some affirmations. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you like the way that I read. This is a very unique channel. Please be part of it. Thank you.